Okay, welcome everybody to our Healthy Together time tonight. I'm so excited. Today is January 12th, 2022. Does anybody else still have a hard time saying 2022? I find myself not even knowing what year it is anymore. I'm like, they're all kind of just blurring together. But this is so fun. And the beginning of the year is actually a really fun time. And so I'm just super excited about this. So I'd love to have you all just put in the chat just one of your most recent victories that you have had. And I'll go ahead and read some off. I'd love to hear some victories. I'll share one of mine. Having some issues with exercise and stuff, and I just started a new exercise plan, and I have been consistent, and it has been awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Ooh, Marty's down 12 pounds. Amber's been exercising 3 to 4 times a week. Awesome. Hit Wonderland. Way to go. Congratulations. That is so exciting. Oh my gosh. All of these fun things. Ooh, no sugar since January. Way to go, Jen. That is so awesome. So exciting. Well, I just want you guys to also just give yourself a pat on the back if you are on this live or if you are listening to the playback somehow. Because honestly, it takes effort to be here, and that is a victory in and of itself. So whether you have a victory that you can think of right now, pat yourself on the back, because the fact that you're listening to this right now means that health is a priority to you, and that is a victory. And so I just don't want to discount that at all. My name is Corinne Hoyt, and I have been an independent certified Optavia coach for now, let's see what it is. It has been 8 years. So crazy how time flies when you're having fun. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And, most of us are pretty familiar with these 4 components of our program, but we're just going to do a quick review of them. Okay. So the very first one is the independent Optavia coach. So when you come into this program as a client, you automatically get an independent Optavia coach, right next to you. Okay. Everybody has access to that. And that is so amazing. Now, our job as coaches is not to do the program for you. It's not our job to watch you and follow you around and make sure you're not eating the cupcakes or anything like that. Our job is just to go alongside you and give you the tools that you need to be successful and to help you learn how to be accountable to those goals to yourself. Okay, because that is true integrity, is being able to do it with yourself. And that is what we want. We want you to be your own coach eventually, to learn those tools and those skills. And so that is what we are here for. We have our Habits of Health transformational system. This is our Habits of Health book with our life book. One is like an informational book, and the other one is more like a journaling type of book. And if you guys have not been in those yet, highly recommend it, because if you want to be able to create that healthy lifestyle, which if you are here, that shows me, if you're listening to this, that shows me that health is a priority for you, and so is long-term success, right? And so you want to make sure that you're getting in those books every single day. I always tell my clients, 5 minutes, that's all, 5 minutes, whether it's one paragraph, one sentence, I don't care. Do what you can, but do it consistently and do it daily, and it will help. Our third one is our Optavia community. And I am going to we're going to talk about this a little bit later, so I'm not going to spend much time here, but you're a part of it right here, right now. You are a part of our community. And the fourth one is our scientifically based fuelings. Now, our nutrition plans are amazing. And if you're here, you're probably utilizing one of those plans. And can I just tell you what a lifesaver these tools are, the fuelings? Like, as a crazy person, like crazy schedule, chaos and everything, I can't imagine life without these fuelings. They just make life so simple, and so they're so nutritional, and they're just amazing. And so I'm just so grateful for all 4 of these components. So tonight we're going to talk about that third component, community, right? So I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to ask it 2 different ways. Okay. So I want you to listen and then really start thinking. Okay. So the first way, you see it on your screen, why do I need a community? Okay. Why do I need a community? I want you to personalize that. Why does Corinne Hoyt need a community? Why do you need a community? Okay. And I want you to really think about that. Okay. Second way, why do I need a community? The key word there that I'm emphasizing is need. Why do I need a community? Okay. Need being that key word. So I want you to think about that. Why do I need one? Why do I need one? Those two phrases. So first thing that I did when I was thinking about this topic was I went to Google. Some people go to Siri. I don't know. I prefer Google. And I just typed in, why is community and belonging to a group important? I just wanted to see what was out there. Why is this such an important thing? And it was so interesting what Google came back and told me. It said, people feel more secure when they know that they have others around them who share their goals and care about their progress. Man, so it provides security, right? It provides love. I love that. The second thing that it said was a simple relationship between people, such as shared goals or interests, is enough to increase feelings of warmth and motivation. Oh my gosh, I love that. So first of all, a simple relationship. It doesn't have to be some elaborate community group, fancy anything. Simple relationship, and it can create warmth and motivation. I thought that was so interesting. Security, warmth, motivation, love, all positive things, right? Oh my gosh. So I continue to study this topic just a little bit more, and I found an article written by the Mayo Clinic. And it was talking just about how the need to belong is actually given to us from the time that we're born. We have that desire to belong to a family, right? We have that need to belong to people, right? And as we get older, that translates into wanting to belong to a group of friends or, people at school, or maybe it's sports teams. We all have that desire to belong. And it's in our wiring. We are designed to be that way. How awesome is that? So I don't want you to feel abnormal if you ever feel lost or alone because you feel like you don't belong, like something's wrong with you, because that's in our wiring. We're supposed to want to feel that, right? We're supposed to want to feel like we belong. And so it's also not abnormal to feel really good and maybe accomplish more because we belong in a community. How awesome is that? So along with this article that I was reading from the Mayo Clinic, this quote came up and I absolutely loved it. It said, when we feel we have support and are not alone, we are more resilient, often coping more effectively with difficult times in our lives. Coping well with hardships decreases the physical and mental effects of these situations. So I want you to just consider this for just a second. Really think about this quote. This really just struck me really hard. Do you see the effects that having that sense of belonging to something, to someone, to somewhere, really how that can help you and what that can really do for you? And I'm sure all of you can think of a time in your life when you saw that happen, right? We get excited when we are a part of a team. I know I have kids that play sports, and being a part of the team is half of the fun of the sport. They love playing the sport, but half of it is just being a part of a team, right? Or maybe when you found your spouse, wasn't life just so magical and so amazing when you realized that you belonged with somebody? There was someone partnering with you for life. How amazing is that? So let's just say it like it is. Like, it feels good to be a part of something, doesn't it? Sometimes I think that maybe we shy away from saying that, but you guys, it's the way that things are supposed to be, and it's good, right? Everyone likes to belong somewhere. So this is why I feel like Dr. A really put this component as part of the structure of our program. They say that you are like the top 5 people that you spend the most time with. So I want you to think about who those 5 people are for you. Super easy, 5 people, right? And if you can, grab a piece of paper and maybe start writing those people down. Okay. Who are those people in your world? Okay, taking it the next step, I want you to also think about, what is their lifestyle like? What are their habits? How do they act? How do they dress? What do they talk like? Right? All of those ways of them doing things, it rubs off on you. Whether we realize it's happening or not, it happens, right? I have a daughter who was hanging out with some friends that probably weren't the best influence. She's like, it's okay, I'm good. I'm strong. I can be the strong one. And I'm like, you can only be so strong by yourself for so long. It will wear you down because you become like those people that you spend the most time with. And so I've had a couple of experiences like this in my life also. And so I wonder if you can relate to any of them. So when I was growing up, I was musical. I love music. I played the piano. I also grew up playing the viola. And by the time I was a senior in high school, I started in 6th grade. And by the time I was a senior, I was playing in 3 different orchestras and 1 small ensemble. And so besides working, this was my life. Driving to orchestra rehearsals, getting up early in the morning for orchestra rehearsals was my life. And I absolutely loved it. I sat first chair, which meant that I was the leader of my group, right? So they always looked to me for, which direction is your bow supposed to be going and stuff like that. But we just had so much fun together. We traveled together. We got to go to New York and play in Carnegie Hall together, which was an amazing experience to do that with this group of people because they were my closest friends, right? We got to go to Disneyland together multiple times and play in Disneyland, which is super fun. And the small ensemble that we had put together, we would play at weddings together. So we would travel and play at weddings. And it was so much fun just to do this with my friends. So one thing that I noticed was when you're a senior in high school, what happens after that? You graduate, right? And all of a sudden, this community of mine that I had known for the last 6 years of my life, they were a big part of my life, like every single day in school, after school, nights and weekends. I saw these people, right? It was gone. And all of a sudden I was like, I don't know what's going on. And slowly I tried to play on my own, right? I tried to keep up with the skills, but honestly, once that was gone, my drive and my passion started to go downhill. And pretty soon I saw my skills starting to dwindle. And my love for that of playing the music was gone because my community was gone. And so that just showed me how important it was. So when I found Optavia 8 years ago, and I'm working on my health, guess what triggered up in my mind? Oh, there's a group of people here. They can help me. Oh my gosh. Latch hold tight. Okay. Because you know what it's like when you lose a community. And it was hard. I miss those days. I miss playing the viola as much as I used to, right? And I still have my viola. It's up in my closet, but it's just not the same anymore because I don't have my people with me. And so I latched hold to this community, and I could tell that especially because I wanted that long-term health, I wanted it to be around for a really, really long time, for forever, right? I was going to need to surround myself with healthier people in order to create that, right? That was the only way that I was going to survive it. That was the only way I was going to thrive in health. And so remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I want you to really think about that, okay? So now this doesn't mean that this journey is perfect. Don't hear me say that just because you're a part of this community, your health is going to be super easy and it's all going to be super perfect and everything's hunky-dory. No, that is not what having a community means. And I really love this saying by Brene Brown. She said, imperfections are not inadequacies. They are reminders that we're all in this together. And I thought that is such a good quote to describe our community. We are not here in this community saying, I'm perfect at health, so you should follow me. No, it's saying we are all imperfect at health and we are all inadequate at this. So let's do this together. Right? Okay, I would love to have you all just put a 1 in the chat if you have felt the benefits of the Optavia community, even just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Maybe it's just a feeling that you had one time. Or maybe you came to a party, or, and you just loved hanging out with the people, or, anything like that. Have you felt any benefit from being part of this community? Okay, so we've chatted about why community is important, but maybe you're thinking, well, Corinne, okay, I get that community is important, right? I get that the group of people is important, right? but how do I do that? How do I be a part of a community? And the good news is that you guys, we usually always have something going on for you to be a part of with us here in Optavia. So just by choosing to be an actual client, you are a part of our community. You become one of us. You are an Optavian, right? You are a part of our community. How awesome is that? And you know what? You don't even have to pay anything extra. You're just automatically a part of us. You just join because you're choosing to work on your health. You get to be with us and other people that are choosing health as well. You get to participate in Healthy Together time with us every single week, whether you're able to hop on live or you're able to listen to the playback from YouTube or podcast. That's participating in our community. Did you realize that? Just by partaking of these weekly calls, you are participating in our community. What about free health challenges? Okay, here's a little secret sneak peek. We have a free health challenge starting in about 2 weeks. It starts on the 31st of January. So more information will be coming out for that. But you guys, they're free health challenges. And you get to do that with us. And the worst case scenario is that maybe you get a little bit better at something by the end of the 2 weeks or the end of the challenge or whatever it is, right? And maybe you get to have fun and maybe you get to learn something new. How fun is that? So we have our health challenges. You can attend in person and virtual events. So for instance, we have our national convention in July in Atlanta, Georgia. Happens every year, right? Minus 2020, but it's so much fun, you guys. And guess what? You don't have to be a coach to come. Anybody is welcome to join us. And it is like one big party. Okay, I've been going for 8 years, you guys. It is like one big party. And we have so much fun. And you are welcome to come as you are. You don't have to be at your goal weight. You don't have to, dress up fancy or anything like that. You can come and just feel the energy and be around people who are like-minded. And when you get in a room that big and you're surrounded by people of like that many people that are saying, hey, I'm not perfect either. Let's do this together. We're all saying that, right? By choosing to be in this community. There is something that it does for your motivation. There's something like at the very beginning when I said it creates warmth and motivation and security. When you look in that room and there's thousands of people and you're like, I'm not alone in this. How awesome is this? Oh my gosh, National Convention in July. Here's my plug for it, Atlanta, Georgia. We'd love to have you there. So you can get more information about that coming soon too. You can choose to be social on social media in our groups. So such as Healthy Together. So if you don't know what these are, be sure to ask your coach and they can get you connected. So we have our Healthy Together group, and you don't even have to be a client to be in that group, you guys. That is for everybody and anybody that wants to be a part of it. How awesome is that? And then we have our client support groups. Again, if you don't know where those are, please talk to your coach and get in one of those groups, okay? It's so fun to be social on social media with each other, you guys. That's the purpose of it, right? Okay, and then you may also choose to pay it forward. And, this is something that I chose 8 years ago. I became a coach not long after I became a client to help pay it forward because I wanted to take that community to the next level. I wanted to be inspired. I wanted to learn and I wanted to grow in a different way. And so choosing to pay it forward and help other people and say, look, come do this with me because I don't want to do this by myself either. I'm not perfect at it. So come do this with me. And if that is something that you're open to exploring, you can stay on this call here at the end and get some more information, but we also have a specialized webinar tomorrow night that you can hop on and just get some information just to see if it would be a good fit. It may not be, and that's totally fine, right? But what about taking that community to the next level? You think you get inspired listening to these Healthy Together times? I know I'm inspired every week and I hop on and listen to all of my friends teach us. But when you're a coach, you take that to the next level. And it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So tonight, I actually asked my coach and mentor, Tiari Walker, to come and share just a few minutes with us about how community has benefited her and her health. So Tiari, are you there?
Yeah, except for I just dropped my phone. Are we good?
Yes. hate it when that happens.
Oh, thank you for asking me to be a part of this. Honestly, Corinne, it's I've been a part of this community for over 9 years now, and that's hard to believe. But what I have loved about it, and the thing that keeps pulling me back in, is the community. I've gone through periods in my health where, I've been on the having babies roller coaster. So, having babies, gaining weight, having the babies, losing the weight, and going up and down and up and down. And through it all, this community has just really inspired me, and they've really like helped me rally over and over. Not because they expect me to, but because they kind of hold space for me. And there have been times where I've had postpartum depression. I've gone through lots of circumstantial changes, moves, job changes, things like that would affect my health in a really bad way. And I would find that when I was at those places where I was in those low points, I would have somebody from our community reach out to me. And I can't tell you how much it meant to me. One time, I remember feeling particularly down about where I was with my health, about where I was with my mental health. I was just kind of feeling down about things, and I honestly, there was an event that was going on, and a friend who is part of our community reached out, and both he and his wife sent me messages and said, "Hey, how are you? Are we going to see you tomorrow? We'd love to see you." And I was at a point where I did not want to be seen by anybody because I felt frustrated. I felt a bit ashamed of where I was with my health. And mentally, I was not in a good space. Anyway, it was that simple invitation that they made to me to come back and re-engage with our community and just be with people that I love. And so I showed up, and of course I was received just as I always was, and that they were happy to see me. And even though I didn't feel particularly confident about where I was health-wise, it really didn't matter, because I've seen this over and over, and I've hopefully been able to put my arms around other people, but it's just provided me that opportunity to just say, like, you belong here, and you can come as you are, and we'll encourage you to be your best self in your time. And that's brought so much value to my life over and over again. And being a community was a part of, the four components. It was a part that I had no idea that I needed, but now I realize I can't go without. So yeah, I just love it. I love being a part of the community, and I'm glad that you guys are on here tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Tiari. Like, that tugged on my heartstrings because I watched you. You've been in this with me too the whole time. And it's so interesting because I think that sometimes the community component gets often overlooked because you're like, you know what? I got the fuelings, I got the nutrition plan, I'm losing the weight. That's all I need, right? We forget how important it is when we feel someone's arms around us virtually or in person, saying, you know what, you got this. Today was a tough day, but you got this. And then how amazing, just as amazing as it feels to get that, can I tell you how amazing it is to do that for somebody else? And that paying it forward and putting your arms around somebody else and saying, guess what? We belong together. We can do this together, right? It just brings that warmth, doesn't it? That we talked about at the very beginning. That is what community does for us. It brings us that warmth and all the feel-good emotions that you can imagine. That is what community does for us. And you know what? Because community has been so awesome with Optavia, let me tell you something super cool about that. Our community has grown so much that Optavia is now $1 billion brand. I don't know how many. I've never done the research, so I'm not going to claim that I've done the research, but I don't know other companies that have a community like that, where it has grown so much that they are $1 billion brand and has affected over 2 million lives. And guess what? all of you are a part of that. That almost makes me want to cry, actually, like seriously, sincerely. Just to think about 2 million lives, like those are actual people, you guys, not just numbers on a screen. Those are actual people in our community. And you're one of them. You belong. Isn't that so awesome? And we were named the second fastest growing company in the world by Fortune magazine back in 2020. And can you imagine back in 2020, you know darn well what was going on during that time. And guess what people were looking for? Community. That is why we grew that much, is because we were a community and people missed that. People need that. I think that year taught us how big and how important community is in our lives, right? And guess what, you guys? We need more people in this community. There's a lot more people in this world that are hurting and that are sad and are lonely and feeling lost because they don't feel like they belong anywhere. And that is what we're here for. So we are going to actually end our call tonight with just some basics about starting your own turnkey coaching business. What it looks like for you to turn around and put your arms around somebody else and say, hey, come join this community. I have this awesome, positive, high energy community that you can belong to. And I want you here. I want to see your face on those Zooms. I want to hear you. I want to see you at all of our events. Are you coming to our events? You want somebody to do that for you, right? So, like I said, it may not be a good fit for you, and that's okay, but you never know until you look into it, right? Ask yourself that question. What could it look like for me? So I want to encourage you to stick around for just a little bit longer if you're open to just exploring what it could look like for you. And otherwise, thank you so much for hopping on our Healthy Together time tonight, and we will see you next week. Okay, see ya.